All right, welcome to the well. Maria from Bloom, Angela from Grounded Dreamers. Let's take a moment to pause to feel into your state of being in this moment. Breathing in and just taking a moment to anchor whatever truth you notice in your system. And breathing in and using the breath to release and opening up to the reading for today.
All right. So
Mm.
our opening message comes from my Buddha wisdom, the Divine Feminine deck, the Heart of Kuan Yin. And this card says, "Everything has a beginning and has an ending. Knowing that truth, you find peace."
Mm.
So we're talking about transitions here. We're talking about um, letting go of some and moving into more, more growth, more of whatever it is you seek and you desire. The opening card I got is death.
Hmm.
So there may be something that you've outgrown, something that you're ready to let fall away. This could be in your physical world, a relationship, a level or a version of a relationship that needs to grow and expand, a project, a home, but this could also be something within you that you're wanting to um, transform and
Mm.
let go of the way you've always done it and
Mm.
create a new way going forward. So
Mm.
moving from that knowledge that something is ending and you're being pulled towards something greater, how do we respond, right? Well, the
Mm.
first thing we do is ground,
Mm.
because being able to sit and be in that energy and really identify whatever that is, that you're wanting to sort of shift, and then once identifying it, then you can start to formulate your movement and your action toward that greater um, experience.
Mm.
During grounding, I pulled this inner voice card, and I mentioned in the group how many layers it has, right? Like
Yeah.
in our minds, we could think, I want to let this go and I want it to become this, right?
Mm.
But that's your mind. Now you're asked to get grounded and then feel it. The bottom of this card is filled
Water.
with water,
Yeah.
and that represents your emotions and your lower
Mm.
chakra energy. And
Mm.
then we have the dolphins here, which
Mm.
are guiding us toward our intuition. And
Mm.
then this figure in the center has in its third eye another being, like that
Mm.
that that either higher
Higher self.
version of you, your higher
Mm.
self, or could be your shadow. But
Mm.
it's there's a you know all of us have more than just one way and one part to us. So that intuition space is held by that other facet of you. And
Mm.
then the opened sort of crescent on the crown chakra with all the waves of energy coming down through to you. This is almost a channeling, um, receiving your guidance from the divine.
Mm.
Then I pulled the Spirit of the South. And this is about fire, about expansion,
Mm.
taking action, maybe sometimes rapid change, like whatever that was you tapped into with that death card energy.
Mm.
This is what's being created from it,
Mm.
right? So
Mm.
this is your,
Mm.
you know, sort of, following your purpose or whatever it is that you discover in your grounded state. And then I pulled initiation, and this is starting to move toward it again with the crown chakra energy here coming through, receiving the light, and then, sort of looking out into the horizon and seeing where you want to head, and then deciding to begin that journey. I got creativity, which is more just all this sort of crown chakra energy. The light is coming down from above for this figure, and this card has everything, right? It's got
Mm.
water, and earth, and flowers, and light, and moon. It's in the radiant sun and a rainbow above. So it's just
Mm.
being able to, creativity. It's our best. It is our self-expression, and so
Mm.
whatever this is for you that we're transforming,
Mm.
um you're creating new from it as well. And it could look and feel different from what you initially thought, like what your mind picture said. It could transform into something even more fulfilling. And then the next card I got is ignite. And this is, release your potential, get it going, move it forward. That another, image of fire along with that spirit of the south energy. So it's really like taking that time to assess and gather your energy, and then just moving forward with it, letting it go out. And then the last card in this is the rebirth. And so, yeah, from the lowest, level of existence, not lowest, but the most simplistic way of existing, which is the camel, kind of just existing, eating, drinking, maybe talking a little, but really not as engaged. And then you transform into the lion, where it's like, this kind of simplistic way is no good for me anymore. Here's what I want. I'm going to say it out loud. I'm going to roar it very loudly. And then the rebirth comes from that. And this is a cycle we go through a lot in our life, all of us, over and over. So we get, and we did move from death to rebirth. So that's the path.
And then, of course, the lion is the symbol of courage and
And
yeah,
strength.
yeah, beautiful. So let's pause and be with this reading. Take a moment to allow the breath to support breathing in, oxygenating every cell, and just being within an inquiry. What cycle currently is moving from death to rebirth in your life? And how might that be an initiation for you? And how might you access creativity as you ignite your potential, your passion, rebirthing possibility? And just take a moment within your own experience to really become clear within yourself. What is something that's currently dying away or has already? And what does this allow for rebirth? And I think I noticed on the initiation card, I think I saw some spirals on that card. Makes me think of, were there spirals on that card?
I don't know.
Oh, not that card. Then it was the, maybe it was the initiative. Was that Spirit of the South? Maybe one
Oh,
of them
yeah.
had spirals on it.
I don't know.
No, not that one. Oh, yeah, it did have a spiral at the top. Yeah, it did actually, right there at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there was another card that had them on there as well, spirals. And I'm bringing it up because it makes me think about spiral dynamics of growth. Well, yep, there's a spiral right there. Oh my goodness. And then there was another one too that had spirals. Um, not that one. Let's see. Maybe it was Ignite. But I'm bringing it in because the spiral dynamics of growth, right? As we go through these cycles of death and rebirth, we go through spiral dynamics of growth. And we revisit core issues as we go through those spirals of growth, right? And ideally, we're up leveling, as we're going through those transitions. So,
And
yeah,
it's funny that you
beautiful.
mentioned that, because as I was looking at the second set of cards, I
Mm-hmm.
realized it sort of rewinds and takes us through some of this again.
Mm.
Um, you
Well,
know,
beautiful segue.
yeah, like in the beginning of the first spread, we
Mm-hmm.
focused on the death and the transformation, and then got grounded,
Mm-hmm.
and then moved up into, our energy and into our awareness. And then this
Mm-hmm.
card, this spread, you'll see, kind of, winds
Mm-hmm.
it back down and brings us back into it. So let's move through this. So the first card I got was conclusions are within reach.
Mm-hmm.
So this is knowing, and it's an eclipse card. So that
Mm-hmm.
is shift, that's change. Eclipses are always about change, and,
Mm-hmm.
moving to the other side of that veil, whatever that is that's kind of eluding you. You know that in order to move on, and in growth, there are things that need to end and die away. We determined that from the very first cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got intention. So now our clarity is with us, right? We've been able to identify our intention. And this card coming through the figure of the Buddha,
Mm-hmm.
that crown chakra energy again
Mm-hmm.
is
And
being
then,
fed down. The divine
mm-hmm.
is feeding you and you're channeling it. And then it moves out from the heart
Mm-hmm.
into your reality, into your and there is a spiral there too.
Yeah, it's actually going
So
right through the center.
right through it. So it's like
Mhm.
getting right to the heart of the matter, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's really cool. Shifting that light. And
You
then
know,
once it's
which,
out there,
oh, I'm
go ahead.
sorry. I love what you said, getting right through the heart of the matter, right?
Mhm.
And when we live intentionally and we live consciously this way, that's how it is. We just
Yeah.
get right to the, I love that you said that, heart
Yeah.
of the matter.
And it's wonderful because then that's also because it's being sent out. Like you're
Uh-huh.
declaring, this is what I'm doing. What, I'm not, it doesn't have
Hmm.
to be stand on a podium and declare it, but to the universe, you're declaring, this is where I'm headed. And then we got hold your vision from there, which I
Hmm.
love because you're,
Hmm.
now that your intention's out there and
Hmm.
whatever this is you're transforming has begun,
Hmm.
sometimes we don't see the evidence right away.
Hmm.
And this is guiding us to not let it go, not give up, to keep
Yeah.
going toward it.
I think in the initiation card, there was an eagle or a hawk or something off in the distance.
There
Yeah.
was,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. So that's
yeah,
so beautifully aligned, right?
yeah.
It's like that perspective is holding that vision.
I love it. Yeah, that's yeah, you're right. This is the culmination of that first energy. Here's my vision, let me go toward it. And now you're on the path and it's
Mhm.
and spirit is guiding you to not stop, not, not change paths or, let go of that path yet. Then we got passion. This is moving. This is another fire energy. This one feels quite feminine. I feel like that teardrop. There's a feminine quality to that.
I
Um,
agree.
to the
Almost
actual,
like a womb.
a womb, yeah, and really just tapping into what it is you desire to
Hmm.
achieve, to
Hmm.
expand toward. Right? It's that
Hmm.
same fire vibration.
Hmm.
Then this is where I said it kind of brings us back into another cycle of it, because then we're called to be back into our emotions and let go
Hmm.
of something, let go.
Right.
That water that drips from that lily pad, it
Hmm.
doesn't, stay there and puddle. When it gets too heavy and when it gets, to be too much, the lily pad releases the water into the pond. It just
Hmm.
allows it. And this is a natural sort of letting go, a natural release, but it
Hmm.
is back down to the way we feel. So remember, we went from um, getting grounded and moving through our intuition. And now it's like, and now we're heading toward that vision, but now it's asking us, okay, let's get back down here again.
Hmm.
It's a balancing always. And then I got integrating the ego,
Hmm.
which is important because this is the realization that um, you're kind of not in charge all the time, like we think we are in our brains.
Yeah.
But if you allow, your ego to guide, here's what my desire is, and now let the whole being do the work and integrate that into it. And
And the
then you
death,
start to realize that
yeah.
everything is happening for you. And
Well, and the death can be a death of an aspect of ego.
oh, for sure, definitely. And then allowing the parts that remain
Hmm.
to incorporate and be part of your path forward. And now we're getting even more down into it, back
Hmm.
almost to that grounding energy that was our second card. And here's the second to the last card,
Hmm.
saying embody your soul.
Hmm.
This is that pure feeling of um, experiencing all of it from a soul level, but
Hmm.
as a human, right? So it's like, get to the feelings, get your mind, let your mind lead a little, but not be the leader, the only leader, and then really get down into your soul energy,
Yeah.
finding the gratitude,
Hmm.
finding that pure intention again,
Hmm.
the fire that might be within you and that creativity that wants to come through. But this is sort of pulling it all together again as you get
Mm-hmm.
ready to move forward to your intention. And then the last card I got was shine. And
Mm-hmm.
this is like,
Hold your
get
head
out there and
high.
get it done, right? This says, hold your head high and
Mm-hmm.
let your light lead you. Let your
And more
own light.
spirals are in that card
Are
as
there more
well.
spirals? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
That's a shell down there in the corner.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love that the third eye is bright and wide open. Yeah.
And the bird,
Beautiful.
all the images in the crescent.
Oh, and look at the crescent, but
Uh-huh.
there's a shadow of the full moon
Mm-hmm.
that she's one eye is looking through. I love
Mm-hmm.
that imagery because
Mm-hmm.
it's
Me
not
too.
forgetting, um, even the unseen,
Mm-hmm.
right? You still want
Well,
to focus on the potential of the unseen and
yeah.
move toward that. Keep it all
Well,
integrated as you move
yeah, I mean,
forward.
that's what we were talking about that a little bit in the group about how we don't want to let what we see in the third dimensional reality limit what we see, what we
Mhm.
perceive, because what we're perceiving in the invisible realm is what we create through. So important. So beautiful. Let's pause and be with this beautiful reading and just take a deep breath. And if you haven't already, start anchoring into clarifying your intentions and just take a moment to use your breath to activate every cell in the body, oxygenating, and let your breath support growing roots down into the earth, doing that grounding practice, feeling those roots deepen and feeling them expand. And just experience that expansion as those roots interweave and interconnect, forming a whole. And feel into what your intention is for this week and allow that to come up into your heart. Align that with your will and your intuition and offer it up for divine manifestation. And so it is. Thank you so much.